There we go. That took a little doing. Where am I getting? Let's mute that one. Check, check. I think that should have gotten rid of the. Well, maybe not. A little bit of an echo, but that's all right. So now, I heard a couple people viewing. Nobody's chatting yet, but hopefully somebody get on there and tell me if they can hear the same audio echo that I do. Does that get rid of it? Check, 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 check. Joseph Ricchetti, what's up, man? How are you? How are you on this wonderful holiday, start to the holiday weekend? I am, this is the last of my YouTube duties here this afternoon, or this week, rather, actually. I decided I've been working the last few weeks to get, I usually try to, when it comes to producing videos and stuff, I generally try to work about, a week or two in advance. And, so I've been working the last several weeks to get even an additional week ahead of where I usually am, so that when I took not all of them, most of next week off, as well as today, that I wouldn't have to worry about worry about making any videos at all this week. So I get to take the week off from everything and get to enjoy doing some stuff around the house. My dad's going to be in town this weekend, and so we're going to fire up my new Weber grill and cook a big old hunk of meat, and or a few big old hunks of meat. Play some golf, and that is going to be most of my life here for the next several days. Unfortunately, Joseph Ricchetti says everything canceled here, and unfortunately, not everything's canceled. I think there's still one fireworks thing going on tomorrow night that I know of that's close to us, but that's the only thing I'm aware of, unfortunately. So, check, check. Maybe that's the one I need. Sorry, guys, I'm still. I've got all these. OBS sucks because it's got all these stupid, audio inputs, audio output settings on it, and I never know which ones I need to be using. So I'm just gonna leave it like that for right now. If there's an echo or something going on, somebody tell me, and I'll play around with it. But yeah, so I don't think everything's canceled here yet, but most of it is, unfortunately. So, pardon me. Kind of, which is depressing because Fourth of July is like really the one holiday that I really really like. So I enjoy the 4th of July every year. So. Ricky Compton says, "How do you like your Schecter C6? Was thinking of picking one up. I'm assuming you're talking about my CR6, the green one. I like it quite a bit. I use it a lot, and it's a great guitar. I know a couple. I've talked to know a few other people that had that same guitar, and they swapped out the pickups and stuff. And but I mean, I thought I thought the stock pickups that came out were fine. I don't, I mean, they're American made. Sorry, still yawning. They're American made. You check their USA pickups that come in that guitar. So, I didn't. I think the pickups sound real good on it. So, yeah, I left them in there, and I use the coil tap or coil split feature on it pretty often. Uh, yeah, nothing wrong with that guitar at all. So, especially for $699 or $699 is what that guitar goes for. Jeff Sevens here. And see who else decides to come and hang out with us here for a bit today. Fourth of July in the guitar business is real. It can be real strange because sometimes you have some days, some years it's real busy, and other years it's real it seems everybody's has time for guitar, has time for gear and stuff up until about noon on the 4th of July, and then it tends to just die. So, Guitar Center hasn't, the Guitar Center puts that guitar on sale quite a bit right now. So $5.99, that's $100 off. Yeah, I'd jump on it, dude. I'd jump on it. I think they're awesome. So I like mine quite a bit. I bought that one specifically though because it was, I wanted a dual humbucker bolt-on neck super strat kind of guitar. Just because I felt like adding a bolt-on neck to my collection. Jim Shea is here. Thank you, sir. Thank you for hanging out with us here for a little while today. What is the... There's like a real weird delay between video and between like the video that's coming through on my YouTube screen versus the one on my OBS screen, which is almost immediate. Oh, streaming technology, I guess. Jeff Seven did say something, but he just retracted his message. So, I got it. Oh, yep, they're going over there too. Never mind. So, something about grilling and Taylor and okay, a bit of an echo. That's what I was afraid of. Does that fix it? Let's see. Michael D. Brewboy 1976. Topher Taylor. All joined. How are you, folks? Brewboy 1976 says, "What the hell am I doing up right now?" I don't know what time it is where you are, but it's it's about 1:45 in the afternoon here where I am. Still any better? Did that get rid of it, I think? I hope. Check, check. Or can you guys even hear me at all now? This is what the hell am I even doing up right now? It's about 1:45 in the afternoon where I am, and I actually just got up here a little bit ago because I was up late last night editing a video because I wanted to get all that stuff done. And the only thing I have to worry about was my live stream today, and that's it for the rest of the weekend. So, Jeff Seven says I'll be grilling the Taylor and strumming a New York strip. Matter of fact, I have myself a ribeye in the fridge that I just picked up last night that will be going on my grill probably tomorrow afternoon or evening or something. Lower the echo, but didn't get rid of it completely. Ugh. Is that any better? I've got everything muted except for my interface. Still echoey. I can hear you. "10:45 was up till 6 o'clock this morning. You're on the West Coast. Yeah, I've been. Okay, we'll try that. So I've been. I should say we, me and Mrs. Jackson have been investing in our landscaping for the last month or two, and we just about got all of it done. And the last thing that we needed was, we ordered some new patio furniture. One of the nicer patio sofa and coffee table and stuff like that. It was the last thing that we needed. So we got that ordered, and it was supposed to be delivered initially according to Wayfair, where we ordered it from. It was supposed to be delivered on June 30th, and it didn't even ship out until supposed to ship out today. So it sat on their dock for a week after they created the label. I will never order from Wayfair again because now I don't have my new patio furniture here for the 4th of July, and I am pissed. So don't buy from Wayfair. Worst experience I've ever had. Oh, I don't, and hopefully the patio furniture turns out okay. But let's see who else is here. Conway Hambone decals didn't come in for my guitar build, on hold till Monday or Tuesday. Ever build your own? I haven't, man. I am not. Building my own guitar is not something I've ever had any interest in. I mean, to me, it just seems way too much like work. I don't even like modifying guitars anymore. I mean, if I'm buying a guitar, if it doesn't have all the features on it that I want, I typically won't buy it unless it's something that's like really inexpensive and it's got some cheap pickups in it. Then then I may buy that and throw in some different pickups. But I don't changing out bridges and swapping necks and all that. I have no interest in in any of that. It is not the least bit appealing to me. Geargasms is here. My friend Alan Barnes. How are you, buddy? Saw some Facebook photos of you out enjoying yourself by the pool here recently. Michael D says, I'm going to make some good old-fashioned burgers and hot dogs. I'm going to be doing plenty of that as well, but and I'm grilling some steaks. I'm gonna grill some. Bought some boneless short ribs or something. I've never tried grilling those before, so I'm gonna give those a shot. I've got a big hunk of, I don't even know what, it's a beef something or other, big hunk of beef that I'm going to smoke on Sunday. And then I got some chicken breasts, or breast tenderloins rather, and and hot dogs and burgers and brats and all that stuff. So I I love grilling. I grill quite often anyway, but especially the 4th of July. Uh, Michael D says there's a delay between when we post the comments and Robert's season. Not necessarily. You guys post them and they show up on my screen right away. I just don't get to, I just don't actually scroll down to actually get to read it right away, as I am usually addressing a previous comment. So, Anthony Baltusis is here. Says happy 4th. Same to you, sir. Paul Von Tyrant says volume low. I've got the gain on this thing turned all the way up. So, short of me going, eating the damn thing, I guess I could turn it up a little bit. There. Now I've got it. There we go. Now I've got it cranked on my interface. I don't know if that's going to help or hurt the echo. I guess we'll find out. Pardon me. Jim Shea says, now I want to start a Bring Back the Echo campaign. No, thank you. I don't know where that echo's coming from. All the outputs mute. Weird. Let's see. Michael D says the company I work for specializes in outdoor furniture and kitchen. I gotta turn that down. That's too much. The company I work for specializes in outdoor furniture and kitchens. Yeah, I mean, I didn't go full blown outdoor kitchen. This is, if I put that kind of money into this house, I'm never going to get it back out of it. But we did want to update our patio and put some nice patio furniture and stuff out there for our own enjoyment. It was a good price. I saw the same thing on Amazon with about the same time period, but I got an alert from Wayfair. Let me phrase that. I saw the same thing on Amazon, same photos and everything, but it was a different brand name. So I mean, it's all made in China kind of stuff anyway. So they, I was kind of, it was late at night. I was kicking around back and forth which one of them I should order it from because it both looked like it was gonna be the same time frame, and Amazon usually wins in that instance. But the very next morning, early the next morning, I got an alert from Wayfair saying that they were back in stock. So, so I ordered it, and they took my money out of the account right away too. And here we are 2 weeks later, and they still haven't shipped it. So, yeah, no more Wayfair for me after this. This is a terrible experience. I called them and complained the other day. They gave me back 15% without me even asking for it. So something tells me that they do this a lot. Michael D says Wayfair stuff isn't good quality either, in my experience. So, the reviews on it seemed okay. And I mean it's our patio furniture too. It's not our living room furniture. So. Geargasm says I have had good experiences with Wayfair. Just ordered another gaming chair. Interesting. Sounds better. Still a little echo. I have no idea. Unless I flip something in settings. You know. Check. Okay. Let's try that. Recording. Replay buffer. Automatically reconnect. Network. Sources. Audio. Weird. Oh, I bet you that's the problem. Somehow. No, that's right. I don't know. I'll have to figure that out later, I guess. Sorry about the echo, guys. I don't know what setting I flipped. Okay, let's see. Where was I? Ricky Compton says just trying to beat the heat. It's been hot here too. '92 in Michigan. Wow. I'm south of you in Indiana. It's I don't know. I opened my door once to let Zoe out. So, I haven't really been outside yet. Geargasm says on staycation, as am I, as of today. Actually, as of 6 o'clock yesterday. So on staycation, and I am not going. I don't know. We want to take another trip to Cancun, but it's we just don't feel safe traveling anywhere right now. So if we travel anywhere this year, it's going to be out to Washington to see my dad, and where we don't have to stay in a hotel, and that's going to be it. Der cool Motten Man some. That's an interesting screen name. Ribeye is my favorite too. I go back and forth between ribeyes and strip steaks, New York strips. I almost bought strips at the grocery store last night, but it's they were selling them in 2 packs, and I'm the only one in this house that eats meat. So my wife she won't she'll eat poultry, chicken or turkey every now and then, but she doesn't eat beef at all. So it was a little bit too much even for me. Plus, they also had ribeyes on sale. Jim Shea says, ever thought about doing a demo or a list of 10 best about the different multi-effects pedals and modelers? No, because I'm just not a multi-effects processor guy at all. I mean, I've said that. I don't enjoy. I just don't like using them. I hate programming them. I don't. It's always confusing to me. I'll get something set up that I think is a great sound in my own environment, then I take it and put it in a band context, and it doesn't translate at all. And then I got kneel back down and start over and start making adjustments again. So I don't get along with modelers at all. So a 10, even a best of, worst of, or something like that. I'm not an authority on them. I'm not an authority on them because I don't get along with any of them. The number one Fang says, "Did you know Chuck E. Cheese has filed for bankruptcy during Chapter 11 of coronavirus?" I did not. That's too bad. I had a lot of childhood birthdays at Chuck E. Cheese, and then Showbiz Pizza back then. Ricky Compton says, "Love the Forgotten Gems videos." Thank you, sir. I actually have just shot another one of those last week. I hope you guys enjoy. So, hope you guys enjoy it anyway. Hope you guys enjoy them all. You guys don't enjoy them all, but well, the echo's back now. I give up. I have no idea why there's an echo, and I have no idea how to get rid of it. I'm gonna have to sit here and mess with settings, and I don't know. I hate OBS, man. You look at it funny, and something you knock something out of whack. I hate OBS. Michael D says, "Man, oh man, some of our customers have been six figures on their places." Yeah, I'm assuming you're talking about outdoor kitchens and stuff, and yeah, I know that stuff can get pretty expensive. There are people to get into it, man. Hell, if I had the money and I lived in a, kind of house that would make sense to build something like that in, I'd absolutely build an outdoor kitchen. I think they're awesome. Anthony Baltusa says, "Listening to your show while cleaning the fish tanks. My wife says I have too many hobbies." I have three hobbies: guitar, iPods, and cars. So, guys, I can't put you on it today. Guitars, iPods, and cars. I've got guitars and golf when I can. Guitars and YouTube, which is basically the same hobby these days, and golf when I can fit it in. But that's a good thing about vacation. I'm going to be able to fit in plenty of golf this week, and I'm looking forward to it. I got a feeling I'm going to pull a muscle in my back because I haven't swung a golf club in 6 months, but Sushi N says, "Robert, any thoughts on that pickup to match a holy diver?" Match a holy diver, as in like get the sound on the holy diver track or record from Dio. Ooh, that was. Oof. I mean, that was Vivian Campbell. I'm not entirely sure what he used. Probably, back in those days, I mean, it probably was Super Distortion or something like that. I think he recorded that record on his Les Paul. Back then there weren't too many options for replacement aftermarket pickups. Um, yeah, I mean, a high output ceramic pickup of some kind into a cranked up Marshall, and that's pretty much that was pretty much the sound that most of those guys were getting back then. As far as a pickup to directly recreate that, DiMarzio Super Distortion, Duncan Distortion, something like that. Somebody says maybe another holy diver in the neck. So I guess there's a pickup called a holy diver. What you're referring to? I have I'm not the least bit familiar with that pickup. I have no idea what it is. So I'm going to assume it's a bare knuckle or something like that. They seem to like to name pickups after classic rock stuff from that era. Paul Von Tyron says, Robert, do you have any experience with treble boosters? Just bought a full-tone custom chop Ranger and it kicks ass. Now I see why Clapton, Naomi, Brian May, Rory Gallagher, and KK Downing use them. I don't. I don't. Now that I think about it, that's probably one type of pedal I don't think I've ever used. I've used boost pedals and cranked the treble, which I suppose is about the same thing, but I've never used a dedicated treble booster. And in my, like back in, my guitar room where you guys see me doing playthrough demos and stuff. The rig that I play through there is already pretty bright on the clean channel anyway. So if using a treble booster into that, would be ear piercing. But I don't know. We'll see. I will. Maybe I'll see if I pick one up and give it a shout and see what they're about. Noisy. John McDonough says, hello, Robert. Thanks for all your good work and effort. Thank you, sir. My pleasure. Thank you very much for supporting and enjoying the content. That's the most important thing, is that people enjoy the content. Sometimes I do a video every now and again for my own enjoyment, whether anybody, and really don't care much at all if anybody enjoys it or not. It's strictly for my own enjoyment. And every now and again, those one of those videos will take off, but not always. But I try to create stuff that I think people will find either entertaining or informative, one or the other. And if I could do both, even better. So, Wayfair sucks. We'll never order their junk again. Great, thanks. That's that. You're not doing much in the confidence building department here. So, God, if I have to return something, that is going to suck. If I get to that point, I may just end up selling it used for cheap and getting rid of it, just so I don't have to mess with returning it. Start over, but Anthony Paltusa says my first amp is a Line 6 30-watt modeling amp and it's shit. Yep. Line 6 Spiders. Spider 5s, the Generation 2 especially, actually seem to be pretty good. So, starting about Generation, the Spider 4s, Spider 4s, they finally started to turn it around and, improve the tone of their technology. But, everything, I think, in my opinion, everything before that was no thanks. Skilled Rook says, looking to use a white SG as my wedding guest book. Is that a good or bad idea? Well, I mean, if you don't mind people writing all over your white SG, I suppose it might be a good idea. But if you think you ever have any intentions of selling that guitar, as guitar players tend to sell guitars pretty often, your wife may not like that idea. Your wife to be. Michael D says my brother just picked up golf in the past few weeks. Man, that is you first pick it up and golf gets pretty addictive pretty quick, man. I played a lot when I was a kid. My dad ran country clubs for a living for 30 years. So, I was kind of born into it, into the business anyway. To some degree, and so I played a lot when I was a kid. Even won a few tournaments here and there, and then gave it up. Pretty much, I gave it up entirely for 15 years, maybe 20, something like that. It was a long time. Then a couple of buddies, my best buddies, as a matter of fact, who plays all. He's a guy nowadays, especially. He'll get up early. He'll get up at 6 o'clock in the morning and be teeing off somewhere at 6:45 or 7 o'clock. Play 18 holes. Done there at 10. Goes and drives to another golf course. Teeing off there by 11. He's done there around 3. Go drive to another golf course after that, and then he'll tee off at 4 and he'll be done by 8 o'clock, and so he'll play 3 full rounds in a day on Sundays a lot of times. So 54 holes of golf. 52, 54, whatever 18 times 3 is. Anyway, but he was on me to start playing golf again. So because he wanted me to go play with him. So so I was like, all right, fine. So I went and did some research, and I didn't have a set of clubs anymore. So I went and did some research and found out. I was like, man, I don't see myself falling in love with this. I'm not going to spend much money. So I spent like $400 on a on a cheap set just so that I had something, and went out and played once. Went out and played. Went to the driving range. I was like, I'm kind of enjoying myself here a little bit, but then we went out and played my first round in 2 decades. And I had the time of my life. I had never had so much fun playing golf before in my life, and I couldn't wait to go out and play again. And, and I next thing I know, I was playing 2 or 3 times a week. So I don't get to play that much anymore, unfortunately. I wish I did, but between my full-time job and my YouTube channel, I don't have that much time to go play golf anymore. So, but I do intend to make time to play. I want to play at least twice while I'm on vacation here. So. golf would be another hobby to piss me off. I gave up darts after breaking my third set in half. Patience is something I've always had problems with. Golf takes a lot of patience. Takes a lot of patience. I don't know, man. Really, it's kind of like, for me anyway. It's kind of like guitar. I don't, I go out there and and I just I enjoy it, and I'm not thinking about anything except my next shot. And and once I kind of resign myself to the fact that this is who I am. I'm a bogey golfer. I shoot in the 90s. This is the caliber golfer that I am, and there's plenty of people just like that, and there's nothing wrong with that. Once I resigned myself to that and accepted it, and realized, and quit, and gave up on, thinking I was going to be, the next, I was going to suddenly earn my PGA and all that kind of, just quit worrying about how good I am, and just worry about enjoying the game. It became a lot more enjoyable. Honestly, half the time I don't even keep track of my score while I'm out there. I'll finish my round and my scorecard will be completely blank. So, I just enjoy the game, and enjoy being out there. It's relaxing and fun for me, and but I had to accept that I am not going to be the best in the world at it. So, which is something I have a difficult time with from time to time. Suchian said, "You'd hate my sound, Rob." Who's Rob? Seriously, who? I don't understand why. You go to my channel and it says Robert's Guitar Dungeon. There's absolutely nothing Rob anywhere. People still call me Rob. God damn it, it drives me crazy. It's all screechy 80s glam metal. That's my era, dude. I actually really enjoy those kinds of guitar tones. uh, Parag Nandi says, thoughts on Schecter guitars. I like Schecters quite a bit. I own 2 of them, as a matter of fact. Schecter's great. Quite possibly, the best value for the money. Quite possibly the best value for the money. I don't know that anybody. You get a lot of features for the price with Schecter guitars, and they're well made and real well built. I've heard some people that have bought some recently that have had some, um, some minor production flaws and stuff. Minor stuff, cosmetic, but but noticeable. And so I think they've kind of gone through a bad run here recently, but I'm sure they'll, once they get that straightened out in their factory, it'll even itself out again like it always does. Joey Van Ostrand is here. How are you, buddy? Says, hey, Robert, hope all is well. Have a Synergy tabletop module and the Diesel VH4 preamp on order from Sweetwater. Yeah, I've thought about, I'm still thinking about getting the dual rack mount preamp to put. I don't know if I may put it over here. I may put it over here. I don't know. But it's gonna be. It'll be a while. I'm not in a position to make that purchase just yet. That's pretty expensive. So pretty expensive, and honestly, there's other things that I need sooner than that. So, but yeah, those Synergy amps are cool, man. Those Synergy amps are real cool. Hats off to Bruce Egnator for putting those together for us. I guess the old Randall MTS modules are compatible with those too, which I have several of those because I have a Randall MTS head. So another reason why I would enjoy one of those. GoopTuber says golf is hard and expensive. Yes, it is, and yes, it is. You know, man, I tried it. You know, I use there's an app called Golf Now that has a lot. Usually has a lot of really good deals for green, for tee times and green fees and stuff. But so I do use that. There are quite a few discounts available there. Uh, but sometimes the good deals they sell out quicker than sooner rather than later. So. Ronnie Webster is here. How are you, sir? Brognondi says, especially the Hellraiser series, in regards to your previous question about Schecter. Yeah, I mean, God, the Hellraisers have been around forever. Um, man, they've been making the Hellraisers were popular when I first started in the MI business in 2008. Matter of fact, that's probably when they were the most popular, and then they've since come out with some. Back then, you had the Hellraisers, you had the Blackjacks, and those are like the two most popular series that they had. There's a few others, but the super strat metal shredder stuff, those were the most popular ones. So and everybody really liked the Hellraisers because they were those are the ones that had the EMGs in it. If you want to sell a metal player or a guitar player, give them something with EMGs in it. Yeah, no, I think they're well made. I've since become a little bit more accustomed to thinner necks than what the Hellraisers come with. Uh, but yeah, no, they're fine guitars. Jim Shea says my wife bought me a blue Schecter Exotic Star for Father's Day from a pawn shop for $179. Wow, guitar is an absolute beast and pleasure to play. Yep, I got spoiled by my Blackjack. Now it's kind of tough for me to pick up any Schecter that doesn't have the SLS neck on it. So I'm a little more particular about that. My CR6 has the SLS. My Blackjack has it. I know. I think the Keith Merrow guitars have it. There's a few others out, like the Elites. I think also have it. They've expanded that, putting that neck on a lot more of their guitars than they used to, and I love the way those necks feel. Sorry about that. Ever use Music Nomad amp and case cleaner? I use it and highly recommend it. Made 14-year-old black vinyl case look like new. Yes, actually, we used it quite often when I was at the store. That's what we used to clean the amps with. If you had something been sitting around for amp or cab, been sitting, dust gathers. Yeah, man, that amp and case cleaner is pretty awesome. All the Music Nomad stuff is great, man. They make great products. I use a lot of their tools and a lot of their chemicals, and they make great stuff. Skilled Rook says, "What interface would you recommend for an amp sim beginner?" I would recommend Focusrite Scarlett, probably the 2x2, which is now on the third generation. Those are very affordable. They sell brand new for $159. It's the best-selling interface on the planet, and like I said, they're just they're really affordable, and they just work. They're USB powered. You don't have to worry about a separate power supply. You just plug it in to your computer USB, and and off you go. Plus they come with they come with some additional plugins and stuff that are handy to use, and they got some pretty good sounding preamps in them too. So I actually record all. When I first started doing like full track demos and stuff, and and expanding my recording musical horizons. That's actually what I was using was a 2i2. Specifically this one. This is a second gen. As the third gens weren't out yet. So, and at that time, the second gen was the best-selling audio interface on the planet, and yeah, I got a lot out of it. I used it quite a bit, and eventually, when I upgraded, I just upgraded the 18i20, which is the big version out of that series. And I like the 2i2 so well, I just needed more inputs, so I got an 18i20. But yeah, that's the direction I would go. Paul Von Tyron says, "Thanks for taking time out of your holiday weekend to hang with us, all of us gear nuts." Thank you very much, sir. Thank you. It's my pleasure. I was thinking about how I was going to work this in this week, as you guys know, I usually do this on Saturdays. Most Saturdays, or some Saturdays anyway, and so with tomorrow being the actual 4th of July. I know there's gonna be people out on boats and people out, blowing off, blowing off their fingers and other appendages, and and drinking beer and all that kind of stuff that people do on the 4th of July. And I don't want number one, I don't want to impede on that. Number two, my wife and I are both off all weekend, and I want to make sure that she has my undivided attention through all of that. So. But thank you very much for the support, and I really do enjoy getting on here and hanging with you guys and talking gear. So, this is actually a lot of fun for me. Joey Van Ostrom says, "Last time I went golfing was the last time I had a blackout." Coincidence? When somebody yells 4. That usually means you need to get out of the way. Jeff Seven says, "Smash that like button, y'all." I don't think I can smash my own like button on my own live stream. Unfortunately, no, I can't. Oh well, that's all right. That's all right. 17 watching with 11 likes is a darn good ratio. Yeah, it's not bad. I'll take it. What's not a darn good ratio is my Fuzz Factory video that has like 200 and some odd likes and like 600 dislikes. Oh, fanboys do not like that video at all. But fortunately for them, YouTube views likes and dislikes the same. Anthony Baltusa says Korean-made Schecters and Korean-made PRS feel identical to me. Are they made by the same factory? I don't think so. I think the Korean-made Schecters are made in the same factory. Like the Korean-made Deans and other stuff are in or come from LTDs. I think come out of that factory. PRS, I'm not sure which factory the PRS SEs come from, though. I am not sure. But I got to give Paul credit though. As those, the SEs are. I mean, those things are getting better and better every year, and the current line of SEs. There's some of those things that are awfully darn close to the core models. Awfully close to the core models. So,
Matter of fact, a buddy of mine, coworker of mine, just bought one. I can't remember which one he got. I think it was a custom 24. I think it was one of the archtop deals. This thing had a quilted arch top on it, and um, spec wise, it was a beautiful guitar. Other than the fact that it had the SE logo on the headstock, I'm not sure anybody would have been able to tell the difference. Joey Van Ostrin says, "I meant blackout drunk, my man. Chug chug." Yes, I know what you meant. I was also, I was making joke. I was making it my own joke at your joke, so I knew what you meant. 2019 Zebrawood PRS, love it. Yeah, let me see if I can find that thing. Where did I think it may come from Guitar Center actually? PRS SE. New. They're starting to get a little more expensive too, though. Zach Myers model looks like a semi hollow body. Is now $800. That thing used to be $400. The Tremonti is almost $800. Wow, I haven't looked at these in a while. Holcomb's almost $1,000. Hey, they got a bass again. SE Kingfisher for $849. Dual humbucker bass. I didn't know they made that. Wish they. I need a 5-string. Maybe if they got a 5-string bass, maybe that's what I'll pull the trigger on. Holcomb 7 strings over $1,000. I want to say Matt's was one of those. It was in the $1,000 range. I thought 900 or so anyway. I don't see it, but that doesn't mean it's not here. Actually, that might be the SE245 now that I think about it. That looks pretty close. I think it was the SE245. Yep, that's it. SE245. Wow. Almost identical to the $4,000 model. Let's see. Mark Holcomb SE's nut is horrible. What's wrong with it? I wasn't aware there's an issue with those. Joey Van Ostrin says PRS SE comes from World Music Instruments in Indonesia. There's a massive factory complex there. Okay. That's right. I forgot. Yeah, some of them are Indonesian, some of them are Korean. The older ones I know they were all made in Korea. So I think Anthony Baltusa says I think the PRS SE might actually hurt the sales of the more expensive PRSs. I don't know, man, because it's really two different types of player that buys those guitars. The expensive ones, the core models. God, those things are $3,500 minimum nowadays. That's bare bones. Most of them are 4,000 and up. Versus the SE, which are all a quarter of that price. So the customer that would be interested in the $4,000 core model is the kind of customer that couldn't be bothered by the SEs, has no interest in it whatsoever, not even going to look at them. And the opposite is also true. You know, the guy, the person that is interested in the SEs are looking at the SEs because he doesn't have anywhere near enough money to afford the core model. And Joey's looking at them because they're cool guitars, but at this point in that person's life, it's a pipe dream. So, and I've been, and there's nothing wrong with. I'm not knocking anybody, but yeah, I don't think that they are I don't think they're the same customer at all, and I don't think sales from one would impede on the other at all. Blur is here. Says, "Hey Robert, happy early 4th. Too hot and humid to be outside today, so here I am." Awesome, man. Well, I'm glad that you decided to come hang with us while you're inside enjoying the air conditioning. So once I get done, I'm actually going to go out and enjoy the heat. I think I'm going to cut my grass today and water my gardens and take care of a couple of other outdoor things, and then I'm going to relax inside for the evening. So we eat Mexican every Friday night and bring it home and watch TV. So we are going to have our weekly Mexican food TV night. Joey Van Ostrom says, "I really like PRS's looks and sounds, but the giant ass neck is a deal breaker for me." If you talk about, they've got that white fat neck profile that is, you're right, it's not, I don't care for that one either. But the standards are definitely more comfortable than the one that I really like is the one they call the wide thin. That I think is a great neck. I like playing that one quite a bit. Volume is very low. Turn the echo back on. I like it. I'm not turning the echo back on because it actually drives me crazy. I still have the echo here on my end. I'm glad that you guys don't, but I hear it loud and clear. From where I'm at. Your volume is really low today. I've got everything. Well, I turned everything up, and then you guys said it was too loud. So, see if that's any better. I snagged the Jackson Rose JS32T last week for like $200. I'm amazed at how much low-end guitars have improved since I was a teenager. Yep, and they have. They have. Entry-level guitars are pretty good quality these days. JS32 is not necessarily an entry level, but right above it. Christopher Morrow says, "A day early." Yes, a day early, because tomorrow's the 4th of July, and it's my favorite holiday of the year, and I wanted to have the entire day available to my family. So, my family and my grill. I will be spending plenty of time with both. $1,500 is the most I would pay for a guitar. I don't have a problem paying more than that. They get, I pay more than that for a guitar, and I'm suddenly a little bit more leery about whether or not I would take them out to play a gig or not. There's a couple of guitars that I have that are far more valuable than $1,500. And I have gigged with them, but I would never gig with them regularly. I'd be too afraid something's going to happen to them because, $1,500, something happens to that guitar, Yeah, it sucks. Not fun to deal with, but it's not the end of the world. Typically, in most instances, it's replaceable. $3,000, on the other hand, like my my Zach Wild Les Paul. I'm never gonna find another one of those. At least, certainly not for what I have invested in it. The Hammer Scarab. I'm never gonna find another one of those for what I have invested in it. So I mean, the really, really expensive stuff, I'm leery about taking out. Yeah, that stuff. Those things tend to get beat up a little bit more on stage anyway. So, solar guitar, they're also rising. Yes, solar guitars are gaining more and more popular. I would love to demo one of those on my channel, but the fact that they're owned by Ola England, who has got all the his own channel is huge, and he's getting tons of YouTube exposure. He doesn't need other YouTube channels to demo his stuff. He's in a little bit different position with that than Rob Chapman was when they launched Chapman guitars. So. I'm outside baking my ass off in upstate New York, murdering bugs and pulling weeds. I am used to and prefer Jackson Ibanez next. I got a Wolfgang Standard recently that I'm in love with. Yeah, those Wolfgangs are nice. They are nice guitars. I've never owned a Wolfgang, an EVH or a PV or any of them really. But that guitar started life as a Music Man design, which is now the Axis. And I think you guys know how much I like, how I feel about Music Man guitars. So I like them quite a bit. I've never owned a Wolfgang though. I've never owned a Wolfgang. Great guitars, but I guess there's also that thing that that's the Eddie Van Halen. That's the diehard Eddie Van Halen fan guitar. Those are who buy those guitars, diehard Eddie Van Halen fans. And I love Eddie. I like Eddie Van Halen as much as the next guy, but pork tenderloin on the grill tomorrow. I am doing ribeye and probably chicken tenderloin and burgers and brats and I don't know. We'll see. What are you vaping today? I'm a dessert flavor kind of guy. Same thing I'm always vaping, which is my Juice Roll-Ups Blue Raspberry Ice. I really enjoy this flavor. No, it's not a salt neck device. This is an old, what's called a Kanger Kupti, or Kupti, or I don't know how it's pronounced. Discontinued, but I really like this one. Have you ever played a Zion? I have not. Actually, yes, I have. There was a guy when I was back in my store days. A guy brought in an old '80s Zion guitar. It was called a Zion Radicaster. It was a Super Strat shredder, '80s shred style guitar. It was a cool guitar, man. Real cool guitar. I think we bought it in too cheap because it was, a very, very unknown, not very unknown, but you had to know what this guitar was, and we bought it pretty cheap. We bought it pretty cheap, and we didn't make a killing on it or anything, but looking back, we probably could have given the dude another $150 or so and sold it for another 150 or 200 higher than we did. 'Cause we got rid of that thing pretty fast. But it was a cool guitar. It was a little banged up, but it was a cool guitar. Christopher Morrow says, I tend to prefer the older devices too. I still have some mechanical mods. I did the mech mod thing there for a while, and they're a little dangerous because there's nothing to regulate them. And I remember I had one of them sitting in my pocket one time, and it was one that fired on the bottom. And I had it sitting in my pocket, and it bumped up against something, and all of a sudden heated up in my pocket, and that was a little too close for comfort. I kind of quit using them after that. That was a little dangerous. It was one of the big 650 mods too. Yeah, Joey Van Ostrand says it's an EVH. I decided to give it a shot after getting the EVH LBX. That's a cool amp. Really great stuff. And James Brown was recently hired on at EVH and sold Amp Tweaker. Something killer is in the works. Yep, that is true. The last thing he did with Amp Tweaker though was at Winter NAMM, and they released a Type Metal Pro version 2 at NAMM, and that was pretty much the last thing that they did under his era. And he's I thought about reaching out to him to see if I could. I may still see if I can't get in touch with him, see if they'll let me demo that pedal. Yeah, I think I'm going to. Now that I think about it, even though James Brown's not running anymore, he's a great guy too. Really, really nice guy. He was one of the, when I was first starting to reach out to various different companies, for gear demos and stuff. He was one of the very first ones that not only actually, took the time to respond to me, but was, willing to give me a shot. And, looking back, he sent me something called the Depth Finder. Looking back, that was not the best demo that I've ever done. That was the only one that I ever did for him. And honestly, I didn't, because I didn't do as good of a job with that video as I wanted to. It just didn't sound the way that I wanted it to. So, so because of that, I kind of always felt bad, and I never reached back out to him. But I've learned a lot more, and I've got I'm a little bit better equipped to do it now. So. Kim's Workshop says, "Hi y'all. Hope you're doing fine these days." Hello, Kim's Workshop. I'm doing fantastic. I can't speak for anybody else, but I'm doing fantastic. Oh man, I can't click on people's profiles anymore. That sucks. Used to be able to click on your name in the chat, and it would pull up your channel/profile. Which was handy for trolls. Maybe I can go to the stream can be accessed from will not end stream if it's currently live. Okay. I better not do that. I don't trust it. Have you checked out the YouTube channel Taylor Danley? He's got some really cool gear reviews. I have not. I'm not familiar with him. Not familiar with him at all. Let's go Give him a look-see. Taylor Danley. Oh, nope. That's because that is YouTube Studio, not YouTube. Let's try regular old YouTube. There we go.
Hey, I'm here about the pedal. Are you the guy from the Craigslist ad?
7-minute 56-second or 8-minute intro video is a little much, but still. Looks cool. He's got the thumbnail thing down. Video on a solar guitar about a week ago. Here's a short one. Tell you what.
Full of activity? That's a healthy 18-year-old brain. Mine is the other one. 55 years old and getting dimmer all the time. I had a million excuses for my fogginess. I was just tired, distracted, having a moment, whatever that means. But the truth is, I was scared as hell about what was happening to me. What else would I lose mentally? Where would my mind end up? Then, something happened that changed everything. I found a way to open up my brain and feel the rush of limitless possibilities. What it's called is Organifi Pure. What it does is...
There we go. This way you guys can join me. We can watch it together.
...by neuroscientists, health experts, and hundreds of research. Can a plug-in keep up with the real 5150? Today we're going to find out. What's up, everybody? Welcome to the channel. If you're new here, my name is Taylor, and I do all sorts of guitar-related stuff like this on my channel. Today what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be shooting out Overloud's THU plugin with a real 5150 block letter. That one, right there. We're shooting it out against that 5150, which is an actual block letter, by the way. It's a pre-lawsuit era 5150. I recently got in touch with the team at Overloud, and they sent me the THU plugin to demo, and man, I'm just really impressed. It's a super awesome plugin, and there will be a review coming out on that plugin later this week, so make sure to tune in for that. But today, we're just going to shoot it out against my actual 5150 and see how it stacks up. Now, if you're not familiar with the format, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a DI track from a demo song, run it through both the plugin as well as the real amplifier. We'll use the same IR for both the plugin and the amp to take that out of the equation, and then we'll A/B them and just see how different they sound. Okay, with all that out of the way, let's go over to the demo.
Whoa. Okay, I've had enough of that. Seems like cool dudes. Like, you know, makes some good videos. You know, he lost me at the death metal blast beat thing, but yeah, you know, seems cool. So, let's see. Christopher Morrow, are you trying to look at my channel, Robert? I didn't take you for a stalker. No, I did not. What's the difference? No, I was actually trying to click on Kim's Workshop channel. Because his, it looks like he is he's got a picture of him, somebody there anyway, playing a guitar. So, what's the difference between passive and active pickups? Active pickups are powered, basically. They won't work without a 9-volt, or 9-volt or an 18-volt usually power supply. So no battery, no worky for active pickups. Like your EMGs, 8185, your Duncan. EMG 8185s, your Duncan, live wires, and the what are the totally drawing a blank right now. Whatever the Duncan active ones are. Anyway, so yeah, those things, you have to have a battery installed in the guitar in order for signal to pass through them. They usually result in a little bit more output, stronger sounding harmonics and stuff like that. That's why all the metal guys like them. Not all the metal guys, but a lot of them. But, active pickups are not the same thing as an active preamp. So, a lot of guitars will actually have an active preamp with passive pickups. So that was a more popular thing back in the 80s, because they putting an active preamp in the guitar, would drive the front end of the amp a little bit harder. So they are a little bit different. This message is held for review from Jay Richardson. Says, my balls drag across the floor. I'll tell you what, I will click show just so that you guys can all see this comment. Since I'm utilizing my my display capture here. Watch this. Jay Richardson. Remove. That's what we do to trolls around here. Hide user on this. There we go. He trolled another video here the other day. Said something else ridiculous. So, but I got a screenshot of that one, so he'll make another appearance. He'll make an appearance here in a Know Your Troll video. So it's a hotter signal. Yes, it is. It's, active pickups are typically a hotter signal. So more output, but also a little bit more control. So, nope. Too much information, Jay. I don't think Jay can hear you anymore. Damn trolls. Alrighty. Well, I think I am going to wrap this up. So I've all caught up in chat. Looks like not a whole lot of questions today, which is okay. So, and like I said, I would like to go enjoy my holiday. So, yeah. So I'm gonna go cut my grass and get all that stuff done and enjoy the holiday. So I hope you guys all enjoy the holiday as well. Please be safe. Keep all your fingers. Don't do anything stupid. And happy 4th of July, everybody. And thanks for hanging out here today. Really, really appreciate it. It means a lot. Thanks, guys. Have a great holiday. And don't forget to check out the video on Sunday. I think you guys will very, very much enjoy it.